The war in Ukraine continues with full intensity. June 28, 2026. Ukraine's Phoenix border unit operating across 4 different directions: Huliaipol, Dobropilya, Lyman, and Toretsk. Every attempt to advance, every push forward, ends the same way. Russian soldiers moving on foot, vehicles trying to break through open ground, supply routes targeted along the way. None of it works, and none of them make it through unnoticed. This is what that looks like across the entire front. One of the strangest moments captured on this front. A Russian soldier walking alone toward Ukrainian defensive positions, completely unaware of what's coming. The first drone strikes, and somehow he survives it, visibly shaken, but still on his feet, still walking. A second drone is already inbound. This time he fires back, trying to bring it down. He misses. This time he doesn't get away. A Russian soldier hiding behind a wall, thinking it's enough. An FPV drone closes in anyway. He suddenly finds it right in front of him, panic taking over, no idea what to do. The drone strikes. Ukraine's 414th strike. UAS brigade spots a soldier walking through an open field, sends an FPV drone after him. As it reaches him, he does something strange, drops to the ground and goes completely still. Playing dead? Trying to disappear by staying motionless? Whatever the intent, it didn't change the outcome. The drone hits its target anyway. An older soldier making strange gestures as the drone closes in. Trying to signal surrender? Something else entirely? Unclear. It didn't change the outcome. Russian logistics taking another hit. Ukraine's Apache unit destroying ATVs, vehicles, and equipment moving along supply roads in this sector. What stands out is how exposed these soldiers still are. Unarmored vehicles barely used anymore, yet there's still nothing protecting them from above. Every vehicle lost here means one less delivery reaching the front, one more gap in a supply chain that keeps collapsing. A soldier moving fast, weighed down by heavy gear, aware a drone is approaching. He has a weapon, but instead of using it, he just keeps walking. There's nowhere to take cover. As it closes in, he drops flat onto the ground, a clear sign of how little training went into preparing for this. Lying there, he's an even easier target. The strike that follows is severe. Both the luckiest and unluckiest soldier on this front. Targeted repeatedly, he somehow survives strike after strike. 3 separate attempts, and each time he gets back up and keeps running. That luck doesn't last forever. The final FPV drone connects directly, and this time there's no surviving it. A strange, almost unbelievable sequence of events. An FPV drone waiting silently on the ground. A soldier walks into range, water bottle in hand, no idea what's below him. It lifts off immediately and strikes. He tries to run, too late to matter. A Russian soldier convinced he's hidden behind a tree, already spotted by Ukraine's Signum Battalion drones. He tries another spot, ducking under a bush, but his entire body is still visible. Complete desperation, none of it working. The drone closes in fast, and somehow, he still seems to believe he's out of sight. That belief is the last thing that fails him. Vast, open stretches of the front, and another soldier wandering through them with no clear direction. Ukraine's Magyar's birds operator, scanning northern Donetsk, picks him up fast. The FPV drone moves in immediately. He sees it coming and tries to run. One detail stands out. No weapon anywhere on him. With nothing to defend himself, he doesn't get away. Total devastation across an entire sector. Soldiers, vehicles, drones, artillery, nothing left untouched. Zaparizia has remained one of the most contested directions on this front, and every Russian attempt to push forward here keeps running into the same wall. Ukrainian operators finding everything Russia tries to move, hide, or operate, and taking it out one piece at a time. No single target, no isolated strike. Just a methodical sweep through the entire sector. Find it, strike it, move to the next. This is what complete drone dominance over a contested front actually looks like. No reaction at all. He never hears the drone, never sees it, never moves. Whether it's carelessness or genuine inattention, the result is the same. It hits its target, and it doesn't end there. Minutes later, a second soldier walks up to the exact same spot and meets the exact same fate. No caution, no awareness, just walking straight into it. A Ukrainian Bulava strike drone, destroying a Russian logistics truck deep in occupied territory. Another supply run that never makes it through. Russian soldiers attempting to move by vehicle along the front. An FPV drone forces them out. They scatter, survive it. Minutes later, they climb back in, try to keep moving. Another drone finds them. Same chaos, repeating. This is what trying to advance actually looks like now. Every meter forward comes with another drone waiting somewhere ahead. Two Russian soldiers on a motorbike, trying to push through open terrain while a Ukrainian drone drops munitions from above. Strike after strike, until the bike is no longer usable. The two split up. One runs for the tree line, hoping to disappear. A munition finds him there. The other ducks into a small hut, thinking it might offer some cover. It doesn't. The drone above reaches him too. Lyman direction, where Ukraine's drone control has become so total that even moving on foot feels risky. A reconnaissance drone tracks a soldier moving quickly through the trees, clearly aware he might be spotted. An FPV is sent in. Seconds later, it finds him hiding in the bushes. Wherever he tried to disappear, it wasn't enough. Russian ambush drones sitting on the ground, waiting for a target to pass by. Belgorod direction. Ukraine's Star Battalion finds them first. Munitions drop directly on top, one after another, before any of them get the chance to launch. Every drone meant to strike first ends up being struck instead. A complete reversal of the tactic they were counting on. A Ukrainian Protector ground robot, hauling nearly a ton of cargo to a single unit. Food, ammunition, supplies for an entire week, delivered with no driver and no convoy. This front is increasingly running on machines instead of people. Less exposure, less risk, and one more job soldiers no longer have to do themselves. Novopavlivka direction. Ukraine's Perun unit finding a Hyacinth-S self-propelled howitzer camouflaged in a tree line. A long-range artillery system capable of hitting targets well behind Ukrainian lines. Found and struck before it could fire again. Ukraine's Constitution Day. Two Russian oil refineries hit overnight, hundreds of kilometers apart. The Slavyansk refinery in Krasnodar region, roughly 300 kilometers from the front line, a key fuel supplier for occupied Crimea. And a second refinery in the Yaroslavl region, nearly 700 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. Ukrainian officials called it long-range sanctions, stating every strike reduces the resources fueling Russia's war machine. The Slavyansk facility alone processes close to 4 million tons of crude oil annually. This wasn't an isolated attack. It's part of a sustained campaign that has already strained Russia's fuel supply for months. Two refineries, one night, separated by hundreds of kilometers, and neither one was out of reach. Moscow region, lines of vehicles stretching for kilometers at gas stations, a direct consequence of Ukraine's relentless strikes on Russian refineries. Fuel that's supposed to reach the military first, now competing with ordinary civilians just to keep their cars running. Every refinery taken offline doesn't just hurt people waiting in line, it cuts into the fuel meant for tanks, trucks, and aircraft on the front. Highly experienced Ukrainian drone operators from the Triarium unit, running operations across the Eastern Front. Position after position, all underground, dugouts, shelters, the kind of structures Russian soldiers count on to survive the front. Explosive drones go directly inside, and the devastation that follows leaves no realistic chance for anyone in there. One after another, identical positions get wiped out the same way. What's supposed to be the safest spot on this battlefield turns into the one place there's no getting out of. What you just watched is happening every single day. Soldiers caught off guard, pinned down with no defense, running through chaos with nowhere to go. As of today, June 28th, Russia's total combat losses have surpassed 1.4 million personnel, another 1,250 lost in the last 24 hours alone, along with 63 artillery systems. Today also marked Ukraine's Constitution Day, and Ukrainian forces marked it by striking 2 oil refineries deep inside Russia, one in Krasnodar region, another nearly 700 kilometers from the border in Yaroslavl. Crimea remains under what officials describe as an effective siege. Logistics cut, infrastructure crumbling, residents and even Russian officials reportedly leaving the peninsula in growing numbers. Russia keeps sending men forward with no real defense against what's waiting above, no working strategy on the ground, no answer for any of it. Ukraine keeps finding them. On the ground, in the sky, and now deep inside Russian territory itself, hundreds of kilometers from anywhere considered a battlefield. The front hasn't broken, but the cost of staying in this war just keeps climbing. Drop a comment. What does crossing 1.4 million losses actually change for Russia?